Hey guys, Jengar here. Welcome to today's realistic review in which we are taking a look at the F-82E, the Twin Mustang. Never will I let go of an opportunity to fly this thing out, and I've heard from several sources that this plane has gotten a buff to the roll rate, and I thought it's a nice opportunity to try this plane out and have some fun. So I might as well do a whole review on it, I thought, so let's go. The maximum speed on the Twin Mustang is 570 kilometers an hour at sea level. You go up to 4500 meters and your maximum speed is 520, and if you take it up to 6500 meters the maximum speed still is 490. This is a pretty fast plane at 5.0 battle rating. Top speed in a dive is 810 kilometers an hour, which is quite nice with for the red line, and an 865 kilometers an hour for the rip speed, which is alright. I mean, there's some planes that are better, but most are less good than this. The plane is fast in a dive, you can always escape in a dive, and your fantastic energy retention will make sure that you are always able to hold on to that energy and to escape eventually. You will be able to outrun most enemies that you'll face. The horizontal energy retention is excellent, and in the vertical it is good. That is also due to the very good climb rate on this plane. It's a big plane, but it has a lot of horsepower under its belt, so that's fantastic. The stall speed in the plane lies at 160 kilometers an hour, which is actually quite nice for such a big plane. Control stiffening in that dive is actually absent. There is no real compression. Actually, the thing that I noticed is that from 300 kilometers and higher it only started to roll better up until about 750, when I saw a little bit of compression, but it's really nothing almost. It stays the same basically. Fantastic maneuverability and performance in the dive as well, so you will be able to maneuver, especially against planes who are already compressing up, and you can easily shoot them down then in the dive, which is nice. The firepower on the plane is fan-freaking-tastic. You have the basic 650 cals, and then you can always install this gun pod with an 8 extra 50 cals, making the total 14 50 cals, all concentrated in one heavy beam, which is basically excellent. 6500 rounds in total, that's about 400 rounds per gun. I know the gun pod holds a little less, I thought, but I'm not sure about that. I didn't check that, but you have a good amount of ammo, let's say that. I used stealth belt for this match, and I used an 800 meter convergence. Like I said, the ammo load is pretty good, and the acceleration though, the acceleration is no more than decent, both in a straight line and in a dive. The plane doesn't pick up speed that fantastically. Not like the energy retention, though it's still workable, the acceleration. If you get caught by a plane on equal energy and you try to go away, make sure to make some evasive maneuvers while you go down, because if he's accelerating faster than you, then he can in the beginning catch up with you. In the long run though, you'll outrun most planes, but the initial acceleration is not that great. The turn time in the plane is bad. I mean, it's good for a heavy fighter, but it's bad when compared to most of the planes you'll face. So don't get caught up into a dogfight, that is not appropriate in this plane. The flaps only rip off at 650, which is very nice, and they do help in the maneuverability a little bit. But you basically do not want to turn in this plane. That is a strict rule. That should be a thing you perform with discipline. Although I know for many War Thunder pilots that's difficult, but I guess most of you guys that are watching me know how to fly a plane, and with this plane it is very true. Don't start turning, because you want to keep your speed up. This is basically flown as a jet. The roll rate in the plane has indeed been improved, at least that's what it feels like to me. On lower speeds is of course a little bit sluggish. This plane definitely becomes more and more sluggish the slower you go, and that really starts to be noticeable at around 300 kilometers an hour. But and then the roll rate is good, but it goes up to excellent when you get faster, and especially above 500 kilometers an hour. The roll rate on this thing almost seems like the Focke-Wulf at those speeds. But yeah, when you get slower, it is not so fantastic anymore. Maneuverability in the plane overall is decent for a heavy fighter, but I mean, like I said, you don't want to be turn fighting or dog fighting in this plane. You're in and out and long sweeping runs with this thing. But in a pickle you now have the roll rate, especially if you are fast, for some nice defensive flying. Now of course, you don't want to make that defensive flying turn into a dogfight. You want to make it in a dive, for example, and then slowly outspeed the enemy and get away, and then take him on your terms later on. Although I mean, it's difficult to make an overshoot with an enemy in this plane as well, because it is so fast. Now we already got 4 opponents dead, but I did not manage to get this AI plane for some reason. Oh, it's funny. Overheating in the plane is not an issue at all. I have not noticed any real overheating, and if I did have a little bit of color on the oil or the water, a little bit of 100% was enough to cool it down. So that's cool. Durability on the plane, it can take a hit or two, but it's still vulnerable in some areas. You have a lot of fuel tanks here, so yeah, you catch fire easily in this plane. But all in all, I say it can take a few hits. You are a big target though, and when you are in somebody's shooting range and he does get guns on target, something is often damaged. For example, the elevator is pretty big, so yeah, don't get hit. Well, that's a basic rule for all planes, right? Anyway, we've got 4 kills under our belt, and we're looking for our ace. And that is being presented here by this A7M, who's going for a maneuver on the plane that was attacking him. And yeah, he's in a nice position for us. He's gonna make his attack run on the Corsair there. We are speeding in here with already 500 kilometers an hour. With web the acceleration is better, of course, slightly better, but it's still not spectacular. So we come out of our dive, slowly losing our speed here, but that's no problem. All the enemies are dead and we have won the match, getting us our ace match, which is quite nice. I flew a few other matches in this plane, but I got good results in that as well. 2 kills, 3 kills. Very, very nice. Let's see what kind of rewards we got for that performance. We've got Final Blow, Survivor, Terror of the Sky, 74,000 Silver Lions and almost 3,000 research points. I'll see you in the conclusion. Hey guys, so here we are after the match. Now the Twin Mustang has been a favorite of mine. Always a joy to fly out when I flew it. I've made several videos of it, and to me it seemed like this plane has indeed gotten a little better roll rate. The roll rate was already decent, but it has become quite a bit better, and it was a joy to fly out. The rolling seems best at about 500 to about 750 kilometers an hour, but you already get good roll rate at around 400 kilometers an hour. Really a joy, and it stays that way in a dive, which is very good, making you very maneuverable in a dive. The handling in a dive thus is great, and that makes for some fun things that you can do when you're chasing somebody who will probably stiffen up before you do. You will be able to maneuver in your dive and you'll be able to shoot them down. Don't get tempted into turn fights in this thing. It's definitely not built for that. It is built as a boom and zoomer, fly it like a jet, and you will have great results in this thing, especially with the gun pods. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye. If you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button, become part of this community. If you are already a subscriber, don't forget to like the video, do leave me a comment, and if you really feel like helping out today, make sure to share the video with your friends and let them know about the channel.